3 days of Big Ten Media Days is too many.
It's a lot of days.
But
3 days of Vegas is too many, I'll tell you that.
3 things on a Thursday is just right. And for the very first time since we missed a Talking Tuesday, we have 3 things Thursday on the beat with Adam King, and I am merely Austin Ward. We are still in Las Vegas. We are still at the Mandalay Bay, and we are still talking about what we learned from the Ohio State Buckeyes. I don't love media days, Adam, but I thought this was a really good one with Ohio State.
I thought it was a really well done media day, because I think if you're going to have a lot of people fly across the country, you've got to make sure that they get the content that they want. And I thought the coaches were great. I thought the players were great. Jeremiah was great. Caleb. I thought Sonny, it's been really interesting to watch Sonny grow from high school and a guy that was very quiet and very soft-spoken to now someone that gives great sound bites, that knows what he wants to say before. There are some players that sometimes they talk and they're looking for the answer along the way, as we all do from time to time. But he was very good. He's very and he gave some great statements, including supporting my fact that Kenyatta Jackson is one of the biggest surprises on this team.
Well, I was going to say thing number 1 was the biggest surprise that you discovered on a Tuesday at Mandalay Bay. And it sounds like we're right there with Kenyatta Jackson. And I think we probably share it, because I was not expecting to hear about how great of a leader Kenyatta Jackson had become for this team.
I think that is a really big deal for this team. I think to hear Sonny call him a monster that's what you want. I mean, that's like when he was describing Kenyatta Jackson to me, I thought this is exactly what you want from an Ohio State defensive lineman. And it's what we've always said Kenyatta Jackson could be. He's just, sometimes you get stuck in the rotation, not where you want to be. I thought that was big. And I just thought the confidence from the defensive line. I mean, I asked Ryan, one of my favorite questions, and it's so goofy, but people ask it, and it actually gets a good answer all the time, is what keeps you up at night? And, coaches, they always laugh
Monsters.
at it. Yeah, monsters keep you up at night. That's true. What's under your bed? We need to talk more about that. But it was so interesting, because I thought he was going to say, and I think you're not supposed to lead the witness, but I think I even said, that defensive line keep you up.
Is it this?
And he's like, no. He's like, it's not. He's very happy with where they are in that. I think adding Atkinson was a big thing. I think it gives him a little bit of peace of mind, but more so, Will Smith Jr., there's just a lot of confidence in this next group up from this entire team. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think they know they won a national title last year. They've got a good swagger, but even Jeremiah said today, at the podium.
I couldn't believe that, his quote.
What?
That was a Mecca's national championship.
When he said that.
I was like, what, dude? 3rd and Jeremiah, you clinched the game, buddy.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And he said that, I thought, did she not catch the game-winning catch and make the great touchdown to start the game? But that's their mindset, and I kind of love it. I mean, he played every snap last year, but sure. Go off, Jeremiah.
I guess, yeah. But I think maybe we can sometimes be prisoner of the moment, but I don't think, I've said this before, and I'll say it 1,000 more times, Ryan Day does not say anything into a live microphone by accident. There is a purpose behind it, and 99.99% of the time it is true, and you should pay attention to it. So this is the same defensive line outside of Bo Atkinson that left spring camp, and Ryan Day's at the podium in the horseshoe saying, maybe we need to find something at defensive tackle. We'll evaluate. This isn't where I need it to be, want it to be. Maybe I'll be, losing some sleep over it, adding that part for effect. He didn't actually say that, and he doesn't have monsters under his bed.
He doesn't have monsters under. Check under your bed, though. It could be monsters.
But he didn't have to say Will Smith Jr. has had a phenomenal summer. Didn't have to say that. Didn't have to say Tywan Malone, you look at him physically, he's changed, he's coming into his own. Didn't have to talk about Kenyatta Jackson and the leadership. So that was all done for a purpose and a reason, and I think that you have to take note of that. Does not mean that the next time they put on pads, it's going to absolutely look like a finished product. But if you're looking at this matchup, and it's, for whatever reason, Ohio State's not getting the same benefit of the doubt as Texas. And the way that we have talked about this offseason is the rushmen, defensive tackles, the depth, that group has to deliver. And who's going to do it? Well, Texas has to replace 4 starting offensive linemen. And so
Don't tell people that. They don't believe you.
if this is the upward trajectory for a Will Smith, certainly for Caden McDonald, who everybody...
And Will Smith was hurt. I mean, I think a lot of people forget that. That halted his development here. So there is a world where this is his time.
And so if that is as real as Ohio State believes, that is the most surprising thing, I think, but it's also like critically important.
I definitely think that Ohio State is in a better spot, which is ironic because they haven't played any games.
Yeah.
But it does feel like they are in a better spot than they were when you walked away from that spring game. I also want to touch on, you talk about Ryan Day says things purposefully. Kudos to Ryan. The man has his talking points and he hits them in every interview he does. And he was up on stage. And so I was literally tweeting out this video of him saying,
Oh, you're on Twitter?
I'm on the Twitter, Adam King 10TV, if you ever are on the Twitter.
Okay.
I sometimes post. I was tweeting out this video of him saying that that Jeremiah, Caleb, and Sonny couldn't check in. And I was like, oh, this is great. Like, this is a great story. He's laughing. I'm like, I think I got gold here. And he gets up on the podium and he's like, I was telling somebody out there about Jeremiah. I'm like, no, don't tell it into the mic.
And if you're going to say it into the mic, say, I was telling Adam King of
I was
10
telling
TV.
Adam King. He's sitting over there tweeting it out. Go to his Twitter.
You know what? He did the same thing to me because he went up there and we posted our interview on Tuesday morning with him. And I asked him, I said, tomorrow is 4 years to the day of you saying in 5 years you're going to wake up and you won't recognize college football. And maybe I was right and maybe I was wrong. I told you that. Say it into the mic.
Talking points.
Austin Ward told me.
Got a courtesy.
Austin Ward told me that 4 years ago, this is what I said.
The Michigan football player has fallen down.
Yeah.
The Michigan.
Adam's got a tweet. Oh, he's going to be too late. Oh, is that a broken arm?
The Michigan football player's leg. I apologize. Oh, I was told not to be rude, but the Michigan football player's leg has could be an arm. It's an arm.
Yeah. If you haven't seen, there's a bunch of mannequins in Big Ten uniforms. Only one fell down, and it has now been banned from the postseason as well. So they're just removing the Wolverines from that. Is too funny. We could not make that up.
I wish I had video of that. Oh, the Illinois guy. They got it.
All right. Thing number 2. It can't be Jeremiah's quote about the national championship now, but what was the best quote of Big Ten Media Days?
Underrated, but I asked Jeremiah about the triple coverage and the mindset of all that. And I thought it was really telling. And we know that Jeremiah is so smart. We know that Jeremiah is so mature for how old he is. But he said, I was upset during Texas. He admitted that he was frustrated in that game. And I think it's really, really hard when you are a star player. Star players want the ball. That's how it works in big moments.
Don't want to be a decoy.
No. Michael Jordan wants the ball when the game's on the line. And in that Texas game, the game was on the line. And on that long drive, I don't think Jeremiah Smith touched the ball.
No.
And so when you look at that, that's frustrating for him. He said that he's had to kind of refocus his mindset with that. And now he thinks of it in a much better way, which is, hey, let's go let my teammates eat. Let me, and we've talked about this with the tight end room. Let's talk about Max Clare. Because if you're going to zero in on Jeremiah Smith and say, okay, well, we got him, and then we'll focus on Carnell Tate. Okay, oh crap, there's Max Clare, there's Brendan Ennis, there's Mylan Gray. You can't do it, but teams are going to try. I asked Kirk Signetti, I said, how do you cover Jeremiah Smith?
He said, Google it.
He said, Chat GPT it. No, he said, you can't. He said, you hope that the ball thrown is just a little bit off. And then he called him a freak. And I think that you cannot cover this man-in-man coverage. And that is such a beautiful thing that he is going to literally change how a defense. I don't think you see that very often. Maybe Justin Jefferson in the NFL. I don't think you see guys, even with Jamar Chase, trying to change their scheme up. But you have to actively change your scheme to make sure that you stop Jeremiah. And now, if he has that mindset that I'll play decoy, which I think is going to happen a lot, I think his numbers may not be what people think they are because of that.
They may not be, but that's what where the conversation shifts to the importance of Ryan Day and Brian Hartline finding different ways to get Jeremiah involved. If that is how teams are going to defend him, and almost every single one, you would expect them to be double and tripling him. They're not. As far as I'm concerned, and at least I'm not aware of an individual that can go win, 50% of their matchups one-on-one against Jeremiah.
Caleb Downs, I asked him. He said he'd win 6-4.
6-4?
Yeah, but he said he got to bet on himself.
Oh, okay. And if that's the bet, he's like, I might
take
win.
it. I might take it.
That tells you a lot.
And you're talking about the best defender in the country.
But so Jeremiah is talking about accepting that role if that's what it needs to be. And then Ryan Day is saying, you have to design things that are going to get Jeremiah open, or that are designed for him to get the football. And he said we went through that a little bit with Marv, and we saw the slot package. And to some extent, they did the same thing with Jackson Smith and Jigba, where they were building to it and didn't quite fully get to, where sometimes it's going to be coming out of the backfield. And then what do you want to do? I'm not saying that Jeremiah is going to line up in the backfield against Texas, but I bet at some point he does. He's definitely going to line up in the slot. Ohio State would be doing itself and Jeremiah a disservice if they don't move him all around. If they're just going to put him out there on the perimeter to be double and triple teamed all season long, that would be a waste. That would not be an optimized offense. So it's a good point.
I'm not patting myself on the back here, but I like to think that
Do you want me to?
Yes, please. I like to think that I asked. First of all, we haven't even addressed the fact that we're sitting like this, and we're in. What is it? Between two ferns?
We are literally between two ferns, but you actually can't see them. They're so far away.
You also can't see the Michigan guy. They sent him back up. But I struggle sometimes to ask Jeremiah questions, because the only question that I can think in my mind is like, how are you so good? And like I ask that, and then I'm like, well, you say you want to get better. How do you want to get better? Like, it just, my mind can't comprehend. And I didn't have that problem with Marvin, but like I was thinking today, like, okay, how do you talk to a kid that is just so much better than everyone else?
Yeah.
And knows it and plays with that confidence, but backs it up.
I think that's the difference, because Marv, for lack of better terms, was self-made. Like, it was not a finished product when he showed up.
Yeah.
So it was like we watched him develop in real time, and it was like, if he said he wanted to improve this or work on his routes or catch 1,000 more balls on the monitor, we saw him.
That's a good point.
We saw him do that, and it's like you can put that in context, because we know how far he went from the day that he showed up in the Woody to becoming what he was. We've never watched someone arrive in a fully formed, fully realized.
That's a very good way to put it.
It's like, well, what do you mean?
I don't know what to ask you about.
What do you mean you're going to get better?
Yeah. What am I supposed to ask you about how you're going to get better when you're literally the best player in the country and you're younger than 20 years old?
Can't even check into the hotel.
Can't even check into the team hotel.
It was a 10 TV exclusive.
It was a 10 TV exclusive until it wasn't. It was a great story until it wasn't.
No, that's a great point. And I think the best quote for me, because I guess I've just become so annoyed at the national coverage of this team, national media coverage.
Because they're discounting him so much.
Well, this is about the game specifically. Like, people don't even know how to talk about it anymore. The question that Ryan Day was asked on Tuesday was, how do you beat Michigan?
Yeah, that's it.
And he said, well, you score more points. And then he was so annoyed. If you want to ask about the losing streak and if that's weighing on him, if he has to change or adjust, or the way he's coached in the past, if that's not going to work, fine, do that. Don't do it in such a way that's like clearly not the venue, clearly not the way you should approach it.
Well, the interesting thing is, like, when I heard the question, the first thing that, like, alarm bells went off, and I said, wow, that's the first time that name has been said to him today. Rewind to last year.
Yeah.
And it was all anybody talked about. I think that he has earned the right to talk about being a national champion and to talk about, like, he obviously has because he's won, but I mean, to the point where if you want to ask him other questions about that Michigan game, then you better have a better thought.
Better be specific.
Than How do you do it? It better be, hey, coach, I know you want a national title. I mean, he's gotten this question many times, but do you think losing to Michigan helped that? How do you take that game in the last 4 games and rework your mindset going into that game? Do you think you get too wrapped up in the game plan? You need to get loose. Like those are, but nobody asked that question. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we saw a team go win a national title, and that is so much bigger than one game.
Yeah. When I didn't think that this would happen. In fact, I'm still a little bit surprised that it did. There was so much more conversation about Texas than the game. That's never, ever happened. Even when they were opening against Notre Dame, it's like, you're not getting that level of conversation about Ohio State's opener. That was refreshing in a lot of ways.
I loved it because I mean, first of all, that game's not till November. Second of all, I have said this on this podcast, I'm fed up with it. Like, I am so beyond. I think if you changed the name of Michigan to, like, pick a name, Nachos. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Apparently I'm
hungry.
Nachos. If they were Nachos, Ohio State would have beat them last year by 40 points.
Yeah.
But because they have that name and because they wear those colors, it has morphed into something that is so hard to get off of your mind that I think it's to the point where if I and I've said this, rip down the clock. Quit talking about it. Because you know what they're not asking them about? They're not asking them about Illinois getting ready. They're not asking him about getting ready for Rutgers. They're not. Michigan went what 8-5 last year? Is that right? 7-5. 7-5. They didn't ask about any other 7-5 teams here today.
We're 7-6, right?
Well, they won their bowl game.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. But my point is
near 500.
Near
say.
500, and they're not talking about other near 500 teams. I get it because it's a massive rivalry game, but there is nothing at this point that can be said that cannot, to build. I asked the stupid question before the Michigan game last year, and I didn't know how to word it anymore, and I said to Ryan, what would, I just kind of wanted to think, what's going to go through your mind if you beat this team, like that moment that you're getting your handshake? And I said, what would it mean to you to beat Michigan? And Ryan looked at me, and I loved his response. He said, you know what it would mean to me. And I thought, yeah, that was a stupid question.
And you're right.
And
we do know.
And I do. And so there is no more talking that we can do about that stupid game until they get on the field and figure it out. And if it's 5 times in a row and you want to have the same conversation afterwards, that's fair. But right now, they're national champions, and that's what they want to talk about. That's what they should talk about.
That's true. All right, thing number 3.
I thought there was just thing 1 and thing 2.
No, that's
with the blue hair.
Yeah, well, that's a book.
Oh,
I don't read. This is a gimmick that I use on the beat every Thursday.
Gotcha.
Which is it necessary? No, because we talk about more than 3 things.
We talk
generally,
about a lot of
and we
things.
have already done that. Did Las Vegas feel like the heart of Big Ten country to you?
You know what's so funny is once you walk into the Mandalay Bay and walk past all the casinos and walk up the escalator, you could be in the middle of Jeffersonville. I'm not
How far we walked from the hotel
Yes.
room. I mean,
I'm not convinced that we aren't in Indianapolis. God love him, our photographer Grant for 10 TV absolutely worked so hard, and he said to me at one point, I haven't seen any of Vegas, I've just seen the inside of this convention center. And I said, yeah, and that's accurate. It's just...
it's really hot out there.
Same decorations as Indy. Listen, it's silly. Next year, I think they'll go back.
They will.
I actually appreciated what Tony Petitti said because it gave some light, because they're not getting any more money to come to Vegas. They're not. There's not.
They got outflanked. There was a convention that booked Lucas Oil Stadium before them. They had it for several years, and they refused to move it. That was my frustration. They refused to budge off the date. You don't own this date. The Big 12 started their media days on July 7th.
I like it.
Break up the offseason.
Because, that's the nice thing is if you do it a little bit earlier, then, because this content, it's great content, but it's only going to live for 10 days.
They start camp a week from today.
Yeah.
Which is Thursday.
And so this content, if you did it July 7th, would live for an entire month.
Yeah.
We would constantly run it. But that's just, I guess, what the Big Ten has dug their heels in. I was fine with it being in Vegas. I don't think Vegas people know it's in Vegas. You're like, hey, I'm here for Big Ten Media Day. They're like, what's the Big Ten?
What's that?
Yeah. And they're like, go
Because
Raiders.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's not at Allegiant because Beyonce's, here. Like I get it. I thought it was a bit silly.
it's not in the Sphere because the Backstreet Boys are there.
I'll tell you this much. If they had put Big Ten Media Day in the Sphere, I'd say do it every year. That's electric.
Yeah, that would have been great.
But
there was this notion that the Big Ten and Tony Petitti are building up towards the conference championship game being in Las Vegas by putting media days here. That wasn't the intent. This was an accident, and they needed somewhere to go. And Las Vegas has 1 billion convention centers, and they're like, "Yeah, here we go. We've got hotel rooms."
The OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference, they do theirs in Nashville. Nashville would have been a great spot.
I think there are probably 100 better cities to have Big Ten media days than Las Vegas.
Spoken like a man that's lost $6,000 since he's been here. Austin would love for just a little bit of support. He spent all of his time at the craps table.
Please like and subscribe to this video. It would really
go a long way to try to recoup those losses.
Help us out. And please watch to the end of the video as well. That also does really wonders for the algorithm.
What happens if they just skip to the end of the video?
Well, the watch time won't really
I see.
resonate
so
for us.
So watch the whole thing.
And then,
if you're still here, you're definitely watching.
And then watch it again, especially if you've made it to this point. We sincerely appreciate you. Moved Adam around. Got him on a 3 Things Thursday.
Put me in a chair.
Nobody
puts Adam in a chair.
3 Things with the King.
3 Things with the King.
And it was great. And we've got on Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Man, you got a name for all these.
I got gimmicks, man.
I like it.
I got gimmicks.
I like it.
Ross Bjork sitting down with me and Birm on the beat to close out this week as we pull within 1 week of the start of training camp. So Adam will be back, I hope, for Talking Tuesday next week.
I'm going to go check out that Michigan
mannequin,
see if it still has its arm.
It's not alive. So and now it's dead.
It's armless.
Yeah. Tough break for the Wolverines. And the hammer still looming out there. Tony Petitti, though, he's trying to help out. Didn't really want to address your question
I said,
on Tuesday.
Do you think that they should not have any more punishment and it should be put to bed? And he said, I sent the letter, and Mr. King, sit down, please.
Sit down. Sit down and shut up.
Exactly.
And we are sitting down, but now we're going to shut up. Thanks for joining us on a Thursday on the Beat. He is 10 TV's Adam King, Television's Adam King, and I am Austin Ward. We'll talk to you later.